Hey everyone, welcome back to CP Whiskey Creek in N scale. In this video, we're going to unbox and have a look at the new N scale gondolas from Otter Valley Railroad. So these are a custom special run for Otter Valley Railroad in Tillsonburg, Ontario. And I got two of the AIM cars for scrap gondolas. They're specifically for my scrapyard, so I already popped one open because as soon as they came in I had to get one open and get it onto the layout because they're super cool. So let's get right into having a look. These are a model of the National Steel Car 6000 gondolas. Those would have been made in Hamilton probably. So this is a N scale run of, they had a pretty good successful run of the HO1s. So the Otter Valley Railroad came out with the N scale models of these just pretty recently, just before Springfield. So on the top of the packaging, there's a little bit of write-out about the business itself. So this is a special line just for the small business here. So it gives you a little rundown of the store itself. There's their address there and their website. So the side's got some more info about them. So especially being a modern modeler, I see these a lot in Hamilton. And they're running back and forth on the Hagersville sub. They're running through Brantford, all through Southern Ontario. You're going to see these. So, especially with a new scrapyard on my layout, then definitely have to have a few of these for scrap service. They're also used for not necessarily these ones. They're because they had a couple different markings, different road names available for these. So there's other ones that would be used in trash service. So ironically, I saw a trash train go past me in Springfield when I was down there in 2024. So they're pretty versatile gondolas, especially if you're modeling in the modern era. So let's get this one opened up. So they come in cardboard packaging. And once we get them open here, and then we have a plastic clamshell to protect all the insides, and then we have the car also wrapped up in the little plastic sleeve here. So move the packaging out of the way. So that gives you can definitely see some nice underbody details here. Not sure if the camera will pick this up, but you can even see the little OVR trains markings on the bottom there. So body mounted couplers. Very nicely detailed. I'm not even going to try to read that. And the inside, just screaming to have some rust put in there, isn't it? So one day when I get some free time, then I can, these definitely need to get a little banged up and a little weathered. If anything screams for weathering, it's definitely these things. but the weight on them is great. I'm going to get this on the scale and we'll see what we're looking at here. So we'll get our little handy dandy sheet that I've shown in some previous videos. So the NMRA recommends for a car this size in and around 1.3 ounces. So we'll get the scale, turn it on, hopefully it's 0, here we go. So 1.45. I'm definitely not sad about that. I mean, especially if you're looking back at the car here, line it back up, so I mean 1.3 and a half, so even if you round it up to, so you can definitely feel that they have some weight to them, and that's definitely consistent with the oops, knock it off. Yeah, 1.45. All right, we're on to the layout, and what we're going to do is just do a little roll test here. So we'll give it a little flick here, and pretty good. Just to have like a little comparison, this is the Rapido hopper that I recently got. I think I actually gave it a bit too much of a flick, but let's give them a little, oops. So a pretty good roll on them. So now we'll have a look at the couplers. So I mean the height is looking pretty good. I'm just not coupling up here. I don't know about you, but I sometimes will crash my cars into each other so then they can couple, and these are not doing so. So having a look at the coupler, I'll try to do this on camera. Oops, knocked over a car. So they do separate. Kind of. There you go. You can see the part on the right kind of. So they do separate out. So it's not like they're those horrible Bachmann dummy couplers. So they do have a little bit of play in them. Just seems like you have to sort of work them in, which is a little problematic, especially in N scale, because there's not a lot of real estate to work with without breaking off any fiddly bit. So I put this one back on, and then if you actually if you force them together, then they're coupled up. So they make a good mate. Question will be, can I get them undone again? Ooh. Nope. Got them once. Try something sharper. Not happening. So if you look at them side by side, there is, maybe I'll grab a pointer here. These ones, they certainly look a lot more prototypical. But these ones, these are the Rapido ones, they have a lot more sort of play in the mechanism so that you can get them uncoupled again. I mean, I don't need this giant air hose thing, so that probably can get snipped off. But on this one here, which they don't have that, there's not a lot of play for it to release. So they still aren't, even after trying to work them in a little bit, necessarily playing well with each other. So I think what I'm going to end up doing is, stay nice. There you go. I think what I'm going to end up doing is replacing them, at least the couplers. I mean, they're body mounted couplers, so the wheels seem to work really well, and I don't have any issues with the trucks themselves. So I'm not going to change that out. So what I think I'll end up maybe doing is maybe putting microtrain couplers, just so then they play a little bit nicer with everything else, because if I'm trying to do some level of operations, they're just bouncing off each other. All right, so what I ended up doing on one of these is replacing the couplers. So I put in these universal body mount ones from Microtrains. Luckily I had some already probably earmarked for another project, but that's okay. I went with assembled ones because life is too short to try to assemble these things. Now, one thing I did find is the screw that comes with the Microtrain ones. Let's see if I can find one. Those are extremely long. So I ended up actually recycling the screw. Ooh, focus here, there we go. I recycled the screw that actually came out of the OVR ones, and utilizing that. Of course, that one seems just a tad too short too. So I use that to basically get it into the right place, and then put some plastic weld. I went a little too over the top. So especially, is it this one? No, maybe it's this one. That one's a little stiff because I put a little too much glue in there, but that's okay. In the end, it seems to work. So they'll actually couple and uncouple again. So I'll probably eventually, I think I may actually try to order some new screws of the Microtrains and then replace this one. One thing I did find is that there's a lot of little underbody stuff in around here. So all these hoses and stuff like that certainly got in the way of, so I made a mess of the place under here. So if you're going to end up doing this, then just be prepared that you're probably going to have to destroy a little bit of it. But I have a functional car again, so I don't know what's going on with them, but I mean, you can see even here, they just don't want to couple. I don't know why. So I don't know, I sent this video, or one of the videos that I took of the not willingness to couple to OVR, so hopefully they can look into it with the people in China on who made these. And so in the meantime, it is an alternative if you get these. I still would recommend the cars. I mean, it's not like HO modelers do this all the time where they'll buy a car and then change out to KD couplers or something like that. So it's certainly not unheard of to buy a car and then go out and change the couplers to whatever you want. So that's it wasn't a horrible fix. It's just something you might want to be prepared for. So I hope that helps you guys decide if you're going to do that. And thanks for watching.